I'm Anil Kumar sharing with you a question from previous IIT JEE paper. The question here is, let P be the image of the point 317 with respect to the plane x minus y plus z equals to 3. Then the equation of the plane through P and containing the straight line x over 1 equals to y minus y over 2 equals to z over 1 is one of these four. You can always pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. Now let's try to understand the question first. We are given a plane here, so let me just sketch a plane here. Let's say that's the plane given to us. Let's call this plane as pi, whose equation is x minus y plus z equals to 3. Now we are also given a point 317. So let's say that's the point P, which is 317. It's not the point P, it is just a point given. P is the image of this point. So if I take image of this point, that means reflected on this plane, right? So reflected on this plane, and then the image, which is right there. So P is the image, right? So P is the image of this given point. Point given to us is 317. We have to find the image P. Let's call this point, let's say A. So image of A is P. Now, wherever that point is, we're also given a straight line at this point. Let us say close to it. Let's say we have a straight line here. Now this point and the straight line will actually form another plane, correct? So let's say they form a plane kind of like this. Right. We are calling this as our plane 2. We have to find equation of this plane which contains the image of the point and the line. So that's the question for you. So we are going to solve this question in two parts. So in part 1, we'll find the image of the point, and then we'll get back to finding equation of the plane, correct? So let me take up part 1 first. We'll just find equation of, rather, image of the point, right? So I have rewritten the question here. It says find image of point over the plane, right? So what we have here is find image of point. Let me call this point as initial point P0 now, after the reflection, and P is the point which is the image. So what we have here is a plane here. We're calling this plane as pi, and we have a point here whose image after reflection is somewhere there, right? So that is the point P which we need to find. So let it be x, y, z. We are given some point here P0, which is 317. Okay. Now to find this image, what we can do is we can find a point on this plane wherever it intersects, and let that point be A, B, C. Okay. So we'll find this point, and reflection will be same distance away. So we'll treat that as the midpoint M to get the point P. That's the strategy. Now, the line PM has to be perpendicular to the plane to get the shortest distance, right? That means that the direction of POM, which is also the direction of POP, is same as the direction of the normal, right? So the equation for So the direction here is 1 minus 1, 1, correct? Now this direction and the direction of P0M, let me call P0M, is scalar multiple, right? Now, scalar multiple of this. That means they are in the same ratio. Now, what is the direction of P0M? So it is K times 1 minus 1, 1, correct? PM direction is, let's say, A minus 3, and then B minus 1, and C minus 7. That is scalar multiple of 1 minus 1, 1, right? They are in the same direction. Now, since they are in the same direction, we can get the value of A, B, and C in general, and then we can place it, it is also on the plane, right? So we can place it in the equation of the plane and then solve for A, B, and C, right? So from here, we can say A minus 3 is equals to K times 1, which is, A minus 3 is equals to K times 1, which is K. And that gives us A equals to K plus 3, correct? Similarly, B minus 1 is equals to minus K, or point B is equals to minus K plus 1. And C minus 7 is equals to K, or C is equals to 7, K plus 7. Now all these points A, B, C are on the plane also. So I can substitute them in this equation, X, Y, and Z, correct? I can substitute them here and get the value of K, right? So after substitution, A is the X value, so we get K plus 3 minus K plus 1, and for Z, K plus 7 is equals to 3. So we can solve for K now. So we get K plus 3 minus becomes plus minus plus K plus 7 is equals to 3. 1, 2, 3K. 3 minus 1 is 2 plus 7 is 9 equals to 3. So 3K equals to 3 minus 9, which is minus 6. And that gives us the value of K as equal to minus 6 over 3, which is minus 2, right? So we get the value of K as minus 2. And now from here, we can find point A, B, C, correct? So A equals to, if I substitute minus 2 here, so A equals to minus 2 plus 3, which is 1. B equals to minus of minus 2, makes it plus, right? 1, which is 3. And C equals to minus 2 plus 7, which is 5. So we get our points A, B, C here. And let me say M is now 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5, correct? Since we know M, now we can find X, Y, C, the points P, since M is the midpoint, right? So X plus 3 divided by 2 should be equals to 1. Y plus 1 divided by 2 should be equal to 3. And Z plus 7 divided by 2 should be equals to 5, correct? So from here we get X equals to 2 minus 3, which is minus 1. Y equals to 3 times 2, 6 minus 1, which is 5. And Z equals to 10 minus 7, which is 3, correct? So that gives you the points minus 1, 5, and 3. So we get our point P as minus 1, 5, and 3, correct? So now with this point P, minus 1, 5, and 3, we'll continue and find the equation of the plane which contains the given line, right? So I hope these steps are absolutely clear. We'll write down point as minus 1, 5, 3. So let's get back to this. So we have now point P as minus 1, 5 and 3. Just calculate it, correct? Now part 2 of this question is to really find the equation, right? So let us see how to find the equation once we know the point. So we are now given the point P, which is minus 1, 5, 3. And we are also given a line whose equation is x over 1 equals to y over 2 equals to z over 1. Now that really means that it goes through a point which is 0, 0, 0, correct? X minus 0, y minus 0, z minus 0. That point lies on this particular line. So this line goes through the point origin, which is 0, 0, 0, and we have this point 1, minus 1, 5, 3. So joining these 2 points, let's join them, we get one direction vector. Do you see that? And the other direction vector we get of the line. So we already have 2 direction vectors. So direction vector 1 for us is the given here, which is 1, 2, 1. Another direction vector which we have is between the point and this line, which is minus 1, 0, which is minus 1. So the same, right? So that becomes the position vector, minus 1, 5, 3. Now with these 2 direction vectors, we can do cross multiplication, right? Find the normal and get the equation. So easy way is we could write x, y, z. One of these direction vector is 1, 2, 1. The other one is minus 1, 5, 3. And this should be equal to 0 to give us the equation of the plane, right? So the plane pi 2, which we're talking about, we can say x times 2 times 3 is 6 minus 5, right? Minus y times 1 times 3 is 3 minus, that becomes plus 1, right? Plus z times 5 minus minus becomes plus 2 equals to 0. Let's expand it. So we get 6 minus 1 as 1. So we get x minus 4y. Here we have 7z equals to 0, right? So do we have an equation? Yes, we do. So equation C fits well. So that is how you are going to solve this question, right? So I hope the steps are very clear. We first found the image of the given point P. Knowing the point P and a line, with a line we have 2 things, a point and direction. So that helped us to find cross multiplication of those 2 directions, which gave us the normal, and using the point we got the equation of the line, correct? So equation of the plane. So that is how we could actually solve this question. I hope the steps are absolutely clear. Feel free to write your comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe, that would be great. Thank you and all the best.